Good morning, women in real estate. Debbie Holloway here. I'm so glad to be back. I had a wonderful week last week, meeting with the other speakers and Tom, and actually going over what we're going to be doing for the summit. And I got to tell you, it's pretty amazing. Obviously, it will be virtual, as you know, and there are, I think there's over 50 different breakout sessions, 50 different breakout sessions. So you literally, in fact, I think what I'll do is, let me just give you an idea, because many of you I know are clients that are coming to the summit. If you're not a client and send me an email, I can get you in the summit for a really good deal. And it's something you don't want to miss. Let me give you an idea of what we're covering. And some of you know, hello, Miss Judy. I see Shannon's on and Melinda's on. Did I see Tia joined us? Dawn joined us. Hi, Dawn and Jamie. Glad you guys are with me. I want you guys, if you know somebody that is not in our ecosystem, or you're not in our ecosystem, send me an email and I'm gonna send you a link where you can sign up for the summit at a really great rate. Let me give you an idea of what we're gonna be covering. I'm gonna personally be covering from scale to sale. In other words, if you want to scale your business so that you have something of value you can sell someday, I'm going to tell you how to do that. I've got a phenomenal speaker that's going to be on that one with me. We're going to be talking about the 4 levels of communication and how we can use that to get a yes every time we present. Rather than being worried about, am I going to give them the right price? Am I going to say the wrong thing? What if they want me to cut the commission? I'm going to give you tools that will allow you to build rapport quickly, and it isn't going to be about the commission or the price anymore. We're going to talk about a phenomenal listing launch formula, how to get your listings launched, especially in this virtual world. We're going to talk about supercharging your lead nurturing, because I think that's a really important one. Good morning, Paige. Glad to see you on here. How would you like a phone-free alternative for reaching out to FSBOs and expireds? Who would like that? I'm thinking that could be one to watch. I'm going to talk with 3 different agents who literally have created wealth, not just around selling houses, but around how they've invested, how they've watched their P&L. Sounds a little boring, but there's some really cool things they're going to share with you. I'm literally looking forward to that one. Luxury market, if you work a luxury market, got some phenomenal ideas for dominating that. Let's see, we're going to talk circle dialing. That's another really important one. How about doing 25 plus transactions in 12 months for a newer agent or somebody that's just getting back into it? We're going to talk about mindset, becoming an expired listing machine. That's not happening now. There's not a lot of expireds, but we know that's going to be coming next year. Moving your business forward at level 10. And if you haven't gotten this book, I think it's one of the best I've read. It's called The War of Art. I'll type it in the comment sections. The War, W-A-R, of Art, A-R-T. And it talks about how we resist. The war is what we resist, and our resistance doesn't allow us to be creative and do what we love. It's a phenomenal book. I mean, I couldn't put it down. I liked it that much. So I highly recommend that you get that and read it. We're going to be talking about that as well. I think the important thing for all of us is taking our temperature on a regular basis. And here's why. I have literally talked to clients, non-clients, coaches that are really feeling like they're just exhausted. I think, or I should say I've learned in talking to them, it's a couple of things. One, they're watching way too much news. I've always said, if your house burns down or someone dies, they will find you. You do not have to watch the news to know that. Right now, there's just so much chatter that we have to stop listening and buying into it. Now, it doesn't mean you don't ever watch the news. I turn on the news at 4 o'clock and I'm done. That's it for the entire day. Don't watch it in the morning, no morning shows, nothing in the evening. it doesn't do me any good. And I'm really missing the beauty of nature, the beauty of life, if I'm listening constantly to that. I even had to turn off these murder podcasts. Anybody listen to those? It was just getting to be too crazy. So I think when I talk to clients, when I talk to non-clients, when I talk to coaches right now, we literally are going back to what is it that we need to do every day to keep our head in the game, to be there for the people that we love. And I'd love to know what you're doing to keep your head in the game and keep the distractions at bay. Right now, in our marketplace, at least for real estate and mortgages, it's probably the best market we've ever seen. In the majority of the country, it is. Multiple offers, people getting $10, $15, $50, $100,000 more than they're asking for their house. I would assume, give me a thumbs up if your market is like that. If your market is so busy right now, you're getting multiple offers. I talked with a client yesterday, 22 offers on one house in less than 12 hours. I mean, that's just unheard of. So I know, and I'm seeing the thumbs up, you guys are getting this. It's happening in your market. So it's great for the clients. It's a lot for you. And there's a lot to balance with things like multiple offers. And I know between the news, distractions, family, can I go out? Do I wear a mask? Do I not wear a mask? Where can I go? Can I stand next to this person? It gets to be a lot, doesn't it, Mary Ellen? It gets to be a lot. Bottom line is we have to step back and take a deep breath. And that's what I love about the summit. The summit's coming up September 1st, 2nd, and 3rd. And Gary Vaynerchuk's the keynote speaker, phenomenal. And by the way, you don't have to be in real estate to sign up for this, because the stuff that you're going to learn, you can use in any business you're in. Any business. All you have to do is email me, dholloway@yourcoach.com, and I'll type it in the comment section, dholloway@yourcoach.com. If you're not in our coaching program currently, you need to look at this and see what you can do that will add to your business. Quite frankly, with the market as it is right now, it's an opportunity for us to make money, save money, invest money. Very smart thing for us to do, and women don't look at that enough. Now, the second part of the distractions and the feeling tired and overwhelmed that I'm getting a ton of comments on is your health. Are you taking care of yourself? Are you as healthy as you'd like to be? And I don't care if you're overweight or underweight. Are you healthy? And yes, Jill, just being able to be with that group of guys last week and talk and hug them and be around that motivation was so cool. What some people are doing is that they're going to, and by the way, Jill, let's take your market. Let's say you say, hey, there's this whole group of women or there's a whole group of agents that I would love for them we'll all get together, we'll rent a room, we'll sit 6 feet apart, and we will watch the summit on a big screen. Or I'll invite them to my house, or however you want to do it. You can do that. And if they're not in coaching, I'll send them the link so they can get the discount and join. I think at least having that group of people together. I know I've had some women say they're going to do that and invite all the women in their market to join. The beauty of the summit too, because it is virtual, it's all recorded and you'll have that to go back to afterwards, which I think is really great. But to go back to the health thing, how healthy do you feel you are? Do you feel like you're eating right, or are you doing what I do, and that's going through the phase of trying to figure out how to cook and then what? So one of the things that I want to share with you, the main thing I want to share with you today, outside of email me if you want the discount to the summit and you're not in our coaching program, about a month ago, I'd spent about 3 weeks feeling like I could hardly get out of bed. And I was exhausted, and I didn't know why I was exhausted, and just couldn't even, I felt like my brain was foggy. And it was time for me, I don't know why this is, but my regular female doctor said a couple months ago, you need to go get a bone density test. I'm like, what's a bone density test? And she says, well, at our age, and I was so glad she said our. I'm like, oh, okay, so now I've got to get a bone density test. So I did. I didn't get a call from my doctor or anything. I got a letter in the mail that said, you have osteopenia, which is just the level before osteoporosis. No coffee and take an ungodly amount of calcium and vitamin D every day. So I'm like, oh, okay, I will. So I started taking it. And within 2 days, I got even sicker than I was before. I mean, I couldn't even keep it down. So I called my friend, Tom Ferry. We always talk health all the time. And I said, I got this thing that said I had osteopenia, but I got to tell you, I can't take the calcium. It's making me so sick. She said, you shouldn't take calcium anyway. It's hard on you. Let me have Pam call you. And many of you all know Pam Jacobson. She is a doctor. She's brilliant. A few years ago, I did a complete blood works range with her. She sent me the stuff. I went to a local lab. She told me all these things to do to be in better health. So we talked and hung up, and within like 3 minutes, my phone rings, and it's Pam. And she says, tell me about it. And I read her what the letter said. And she said, well, what did the blood work say? I'm like, I didn't do blood work. She said, you don't ever do a bone density test that you don't do blood work with it as well. Think about that, ladies. If you're ever getting a bone density, make sure they do blood work as well. So she said, how quickly could you get your blood work done? And I'm like, tomorrow? And she said, okay. She set it up. I got the blood work done. Come to find out, my vitamin D, vitamin K, vitamin whatever was so low it didn't even register. So I'm on this, and by the way, my cholesterol was so high, the phone rings from her when she gets the report, and she's like, okay, here's the thing. You are so high, you could have a heart attack or stroke any minute. I'm like, any minute, like now? And she said, you could have it any minute. Here's what you need to do. You're gonna have to get on Lipitor right now because it's so bad. But I'm gonna send you, and I'm looking over at my counter, and I have like 8 different bottles of things that I'm taking right now. She said, the problem with you is you're really high cholesterol, and you vitamins don't stay in your system. They just go. So I have all this vitamin K, all this other stuff over here. So I started taking it. Within a week, I started to feel a little bit better. So as time went on, I've gotten to feel better and better. And the goal is obviously that I don't die, and that I can get off of the Lipitor and do the natural things that she's given me. And what I learned from this is that we don't know, or at least I don't know, how to figure out what's going on with my body. Do you? And Pam I talked to Pam about this, and so I'm going to ask you guys, and you have to tell me if you want to do it. I'm thinking about setting up a Zoom video chat where if you're interested and you have anything about health that you want to ask, you can join us and ask. Free. I'll just post the link. If you are interested, I'll set up a Zoom video with Pam, because I learned so much from her. And here's what was interesting. She started asking me questions like, so I know you like bacon, because I'd interviewed her for our Wire event, and she's like, you shouldn't eat bacon. And I do kind of like bacon. She said, do you eat fried foods? And I said, no. She said, do you drink a lot of coffee? I said, I'll have a cup of coffee about every other day. She said, well, you don't have to stop drinking coffee if that's all you drink. And so what she did was she was just very realistic about what I could do. And what it ended up being is, and I didn't know this, the cholesterol issue runs in my family. It's in my DNA. It doesn't have anything to do with my healthy eating. But she did start making me more aware of simple things I can do. Like, I take applesauce, oatmeal, and that Siggy yogurt, mix it together, put it in the fridge. I don't cook the oatmeal. Actually, for cholesterol, eating uncooked oatmeal is best, and it absorbs all the liquids. I have that for breakfast. It tastes great. Well, my husband thinks it tastes awful, but I think it tastes great. So my thought is, if you had something that was an issue for you, and you could ask her, and she could simply say to you, oh, eat less bananas, eat more bananas, eat green bananas. Did you know green bananas cuts down cholesterol? Anyway, I learned so much in one phone conversation that I want to be able to do that for you as well. Are you interested? If you're interested, respond below and I'll set it up. I don't care if we have 10 or 100. If you want to join me and be able to ask her anything, I will tell you, she has actually talked to my doctor here. I got a new doctor here who's a woman. And they've literally coordinated what I need to do because I needed to do something so quickly. So my thought is, I want to share that with you guys if you're interested. So if you're interested, post your email address below and I will email you. I will set this up and it will likely be next week if she's available. I will set this up. So all you have to do is post your email address so I can email it to you. Or I could actually just post the link on here, but I don't want somebody that's not interested in health joining because I don't want to waste everybody's time. So I think if you would just post your email address, I will set it up, send it to you. Because I think health, in my opinion, is the thing we as women don't focus on ever. We're so good, hey Catherine, in focusing on everybody else, we don't focus on our health. So if you're interested in joining me in a Zoom video where you can ask questions of Pam Jacobson about your health, all you have to do is post your email address. Now, I try to keep these things at 15 minutes and I realize I've gone over and I apologize. Also, if you know a group of people or a person in your office that you think would benefit from the summit, let me know. I've got a link I can send them and they can get a discount. We as clients if you're an elite client or a team client, we know that it's a great deal. All I'm saying is if you've got somebody that you think should experience Gary Vaynerchuk, Tom interviewing 15 different agents on how they went from zero to a multi-million-dollar business. I'm gonna do a ton of stuff on communications, how to be a better communicator, how to build wealth, how to build a team. And this one I think is an important one for all you women that have your own team or office, how to build what you have and sell it someday instead of walking away from it. So tons of great stuff. You'll see it in the link that I send. All you have to do is email me and I will send whoever you email me that you want to get the link, email me their name and email address, and I will email the link to them so that they can get the summit, attend the summit September 1st through 3rd. And my email address again is dholloway@yourcoach.com. So, Health Summit. If you want to rewatch this, I suggest you do. Let me know if you've got people that you want to go to the summit or if you would like to join me in my conversation with Pam Jacobson on all things health-based. So make it a wonderful, powerful week.